All right, people, welcome again to MG Sports TV. And I want to say thank you. Thank you again for joining for another program, another update, another episode, whatever you want to call it. Really appreciate it joining. Yeah, can you see? Desperately need of an haircut. Yeah. Anyways, so Zach Lovelace won't be a part of our under 17 feature for this tournament. This under 17 tournament, a player that I rate highly. I didn't know much about him, and one of my viewers informed me, called me on the program and said, MG, you need to look at this kid. They're trying to get this kid in, and I want to have a look. And maybe about after a week, I sit down and watch a few games for him. Not a lot of games were available though. I watched some clippings, like his highlight reel, and watch I think about 3 games. And I was superly impressed with his physical posture, his status, how he plays, his IQ. I was really impressed and said, this is the player that can certainly take us just above, take us a notch, or take us to the level that would be highly enough to compete, or would be good enough to compete, or to say that we have that marquee type of player. Yes, he's the type of player. Anyways, Zach Lovelace, but he's not the only one. Definitely, I'm going to get into the article. People, there's an article explaining some of the players that won't be available for us in the Honor 17 competition. But before we do that, people, you must do the nice fancy stuff. Smashing the like button, hitting the subscribe button, and let me give a shout out to our channel members. You don't know already. Now, so these are our members, people, from the military squad. We're moving from a squad, then to a platoon, then to a battalion. That's the reason why it's military, people. We have military ranking, military structure. People, come on. The link is in the description. You can join and become a member. The original Zilla 002, Jermaine Swiby, Staff Sergeant, Sergeant Paul Rose, Corporal David Beckham, and Lance Corporal Feder 5. Big up, massive respect to the man them. I am really appreciate the support that you guys have been giving me. These guys help the channel running, people. It's not a lot of money, honestly, but for sure, 100%, it's definitely something that I really appreciate, because it helps me. So next month, we can look for month end, we can say, boy, at least may I get the $10 a year, you know? At least may I get this $10. And it really something to look forward to. But let's get into the details, people. I've been here chatting, lubbering my mouth off. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all the fancy stuff, people. All them fun stuff there. Let's get straight into the details. All right, Gordon moved forward without overseas power. Gordon, as in Meron Gordon, the Reggae Boyz U17 head coach, moving forward without overseas power. Let's get into it. Let's get into the article. The Jamaica under 17 striker Ashton Gordon battles with Curtin Wright of Veer United during their practice game at the Wembley Centre of Excellence on Thursday. Veer won the game 2-0. Yeah, people, I wanted to go to that game. I apologize. I couldn't make it. My sincere apology. National under 17 coach Meron Gordon says he's going ahead with his plans without three top talents for next month concacaf under 17 championship in Guatemala. Birmingham City striker Cameron Eubanks, quality player as well, along with Rangers FC player Zach Lovelace and LAFC academy player Kyrum Lumsden were expected to be a part of the national team, but they have not yet secured documentation to represent the country, with the February 1st deadline swiftly approaching to submit the final 20-man squad. Now, people are going to say, boy, JFF should have done from earlier, this or that, or rated. Unfortunately, the documentation aspect was not on the side of JFF. It was on the side of most of the parents, unfortunately. People, that's how it is. Zach, his father, some document is still trying to put through the paperwork, and many people, if it don't, there's so much things happen behind the scenes why some of these things didn't go through initially. There's a lot of times, and some of the time when the application is being sorted for, that is when people realize that, hey, something is wrong here. And that's how many of these parents even get the opportunity to really sort themselves out. So let's continue. The Gleaner reached out to Meron Gordon on Thursday, and he made it clear that he will be planning without these players in mind. as the team gets ready to face Cuba in their first encounter on February the 12th. On February the 12th. It is a sad situation that we are faced with because some of these players were waiting to see if they were going to take the USA team, we're going to make the USA team or the England team, and then we are second choice. Gordon, said Gordon. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Still, they're my first world, first world country. Nothing wrong with that. And most of these players born in those countries. Anyways, Gordon does, however, have the services of some US-based players, including attacker Ashton Gordon, who plays for Atlanta United Academy, and former USA under-15 national Aaron Hurd. For Gordon, the main aim is to prepare the players that he has at his disposal as best as possible. This is what he said. I am not really thinking about missing players. We are confident in what we have. We are aiming to top the group, and if we don't top the group, we have a next plan, which I will not share just as yet. In the meantime, football analyst Simon Preston, who has been following the Reggae Boyz extensively, says the absence of some under-17 prospect would be a huge blow for the Jamaicans. Preston outlined that Lovelace has had his English League Cup and Championship experience with Millwall FC in England, while Eubank is on the books at Birmingham City. Those players like Eubanks and Lovelace are big miss, mainly because of their experience and the firepower that they would have brought to the team. For sure, let me tell you people, Lovelace, brilliant. Lovelace would have been an exceptional addition. And I saw him, his videos, I saw his highlights, for sure. And I do believe that 100% agree with Simon here. It's a big miss. Without a doubt, they would have been in the final 20 and possible are shooing to start in the final 11 as well, said Preston. Jamaica are in Group G with Costa Rica, Cuba, and Guadeloupe, with the top 3 nations from each of the 4 advancing to the round of 16, joining the 4 group winners from 2022 concacaf qualifiers. The knockout games will be played in a single match elimination format. The 4 semifinals will qualify for the FIFA Under-17 World Cup in Peru in November. So, huge, let me tell you people, agree here with Simon Preston on that one in analysis there. Huge blow, big blow, losing these 3 players. These are 3 top young talents. And I mean, going forward from you people, these are names that we're likely to hear in the future, maybe 5 years from now, as being thrown around as top players who big clubs are looking for. So definitely these are big name players who are looking to make an impact on global football. So this is a huge miss for us. I do believe so. But I do think that the other players that came into the squad are quality. The goalkeeper, Joshua, Ashton, these guys are also quality players. But the likes of Lovelace, I do believe are the marquee type of player that you say these players represent the team. These players represent the team. And, you know, like you have Lionel Messi for Barcelona. You have Kevin De Bruyne for a Man City, or Alan for a Man City. These are the names, once you mention the names of the teams, or even Leon Bailey for Reggae Boyz, even though Leon Bailey never really, but you can just use a name or Pulisic for USA, that particular name. So these players would have definitely come in and be a marquee type name or a type of player who will say that these players represent who we are and what we're doing, because of the quality that they have. So unfortunately, that is how the situation is. It's harsh. We didn't get this thing out, get this started earlier, but sometimes you just don't know. And some of the time when the documentation, I have seen it many times, and we always blame JF, but sometimes the truth is, it's not only them are the problem. So many times the way how some of these parents entered some of these countries, and these are stuff that they're not really spoken about on a often basis, but it's just the reality of how things are. And in the real world, people do things sometimes just to be themselves in a position, and then when things like this pop up now, this is where, you know, you have to take back a seat and say, okay, we have to sort this out, we have to get that sorted out. And that is really like, most of the time documentation becomes a problem or an issue. But anyways people, that's how it is. Hopefully we can work with what we have. I'm really hoping that and we can push forward with the crop of players that we have right now. Anyways, people, massive, massive respect, and thank you very much for tuning in. And guys, please do support our program by hitting the Patreon, following us on the Patreon. The link is in the description and also in the pinned comment section. And also, if you can, become a member of the channel. These are the two ways that you can really, really help us progress the show for our people. Definitely 100% by becoming a member or joining the Patreon. The Patreon, from anywhere in the world, you can join the Patreon. Becoming a member, most likely outside of the Jamaican region. But sure, people, massive respect. Big up MG Sports TV, people. See you guys again. Or out. Boom.